The scope of quality for DCEU films is broad, but one thing that unifies a lot of the worst films in the lineup is that they frustrate you the more that you think about them. This quality can definitely apply to 2023's The Flash. Of course, there's a decent amount to appreciate about the film, from the performances to the thrilling score. However, the major thing that brings the film down is its themes and the poor execution of exploring them. The film revolves around time travel, and it makes a stern stance that the concept is destructive and dangerous. Our protagonist Barry wishes to use the new ability to time travel to prevent his mother from being murdered. Batman argues, on top of the ability being potentially volatile to the fabric of reality, that wishing to undo tragic moments in our lives is unproductive. He explains that even the bad moments in our lives benefit us, help us to grow stronger. Okay, fine. That's an alright theme. Things aren't greener on the other side. Adversity makes us stronger. The core issue is that there's no follow through on that theme. Bad things happen, but the film doesn't give a good reason to keep the present the same other than the flimsy idea that changing our past for noble reasons is a dumb and destructive idea. Barry's life kind of stinks. Outside of his mother being dead, his father is in jail after falsely being accused of being the murderer. He has no real stable relationships, and he has to clean up the messes caused by the Justice League. The film doesn't take the time to set up anything for Barry to latch onto to support the idea that changing the past would be for the worst. An easy solution would be to have the victims of the collapsing hospital thank him for saving them, showing that his appreciation of his mother's life is what motivates him to continue saving others, his trauma defining his heroic present. As it stands, the lack of a setup makes the core themes of the film seem more negative than it likely intended to be. The film still wants to commit to the grass isn't greener on the other side theme by trying to give Barry a happy ending, but its execution undercuts the initial setup of this theme. In order to explain myself, I'll have to elaborate on the time travel elements that lead up to the ending. Spoiler warning, not that you care anyway. The event that leads to the death of Barry's mother starts with his father going to the store to buy a can of tomatoes that his mother forgot to buy earlier in the day. While he is gone, a robber broke into the house under the assumption that it was empty. His mother is killed by the robber. Barry proposes that if he gives his mother the can on her first run to the store, his dad would never leave and the robber would never come to the house. This works and the rest of the movie happens. At the end of the movie, he commits to resetting the timeline by letting his mother die. He returns to the store, has one last conversation with his mother, then uses his super speed to take the can he initially placed in his cart back on the shelf. When he returns to the present, things seem better. His dad's innocence is proven in court, and he lands a date with a girl he likes. On top of discovering that Batman now looks different, Barry realizes that he didn't reset the timeline properly. Him taking the can out of the cart was still a massive change to the timeline. A more effective way to reset the timeline would have Barry preventing himself from ever attempting to time travel in the first place. As we can now see properly, the film gives Barry his consolation happy ending via the very thing it attempts to condemn. His new future doesn't come from any change, growth, or perspective shift, but from a simple mistake. It feels like the film is trying to say that tragedy is inevitable, but the good things in life are random and arbitrary. I don't think there's anything wrong with the film committing to a somber theme, but it feels like it came to these conclusions by accident. The worst thing about it all is that this is supposed to be the DCEU's big swan song. It's just a strange and miserable way for this universe to end.